In this example, we're going to review quickly how to factor out a greatest common factor, or GCF. Looking at these three terms, a couple things jump out at me right away. I see 15, 20, and 35. Those numbers are all end in 0 or 5, meaning that they're divisible by 5. So that can definitely be part of the greatest common factor here, being 5 for the numerical part. And then looking at your variables, x to the 4th, x to the 3rd, x to the 2nd, those all definitely have an x in common. As a matter of fact, they have an x squared in common. The highest power of x I would be able to take out of all three terms would be x to the 2nd power. I can't take x to the 3rd power out of all of them because this one doesn't have enough factors of x to do that. Going ahead and doing that, the common factor we said for the coefficients, the numerical factors of the term, was 5. And the power of x I could take out would be x squared. Now we have to figure out what will be left in the parentheses. Again, when you're factoring out a greatest common factor, you're just using the distributive property, but you're kind of using it in the reverse direction that you might be normally accustomed to using it. If you think about it, when you distribute, you're multiplying. So when you're trying to do the opposite of that, the inverse of multiplying would be dividing. So to figure out what will be left in the parentheses, I'm just going to take each of the terms and I'm going to divide them by this greatest common factor. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And thinking back to Algebra 1, when you take x to the 4th and divide it by x to the 2nd, you subtract their exponents. That would leave you with x to the 2nd. Same thing for this term. Negative 20 divided by 5 would be negative 4. Then x to the 3rd divided by x to the 2nd. Again, you would subtract those exponents, and that would be x to the 1st, which of course you don't need to write an exponent of 1. And then finally, 35 divided by 5 would be 7. And x to the 2nd divided by x to the 2nd. Again, we subtract those exponents. 2 minus 2 would be 0. X to the 0 power is 1. And we don't need to write 7 times 1 because that would just be 7. So at this point, we have factored out our greatest common factor. And that's all we can do for this particular problem.